Okay everybody, Matthew here with Technically Farming. Planting corn today down in Whitestone, Virginia. Here in May, some last planted corn we have, thank goodness. So I just want to go over a couple things about our corn planter. We got it here being pulled by our 340 horsepower tractor. This is an ExactEmerge John Deere planter. And yeah, just gonna walk through what's going on here. So first off, to start, we have our seed hoppers, which are up here. We dump the seed, basically the bulk fill into there, and then we have a blower that blows constantly, that blows the seed to this unit when they call for it. That's how we get the seed to the unit. Other two tanks, we got some tanks on the side here. Today we're just running starter fertilizer, what we call it. It's just nitrogen, phosphorus, and a couple micronutrients going right next to the row. I'll show you how that gets applied here on the unit in a second. All right, so this is one of our row units. This is row unit number 1. Like I said earlier, the seed comes through this tube from the bulk seed hopper with the John Deere on it right there. Comes down into the seed bowl. Here's our meter. This spins, and this determines our population. It changes its speed of spinning based on the population and based on how fast I'm going. So basically there's a whole vacuum system here run by this tube right here, and it sucks the seed up against these little holes on the bowl. You can see some corn right here. They ride over to our belt, which is this right here, that takes the seed all the way to the ground. So that's how the seed is metered, that's how the population is determined, and that's how it's taken to the ground. We're going to walk over. Now let's look at what's happening down here on the ground. So a few components here. We'll walk through each one. So first thing going in the ground, these are called our row cleaners. They're airbag operated, and I can adjust these from the cab, how aggressive I want them to be or not aggressive. So basically what they're doing is removing trash from the row before the unit goes through it. So if we have a situation with a lot of straw, or maybe the ground is rough, I'll make these really aggressive and they just spin and blow everything out of the way. Like I said, they're controlled from the cab. So we have our gauge wheels and our disc openers here. Our disc openers, these are two side-by-side openers. Let's see if I can get a good video of those. Side-by-side discs, same thing on each side. And they open the trench for the seed. The brush delivery system is just inside of this. They open the trench and the brush is located right there, and it's dropping the seed in. These are what we call our gauge wheels. All they're doing is riding on top of the ground, determining how deep the seed's going, and we change that right here. On this little handle right here, we can adjust up and down to plant it shallower or deeper. Corn, we're shooting for 2 inches. So we got all these set at 2 inches, and yeah. So the next in line, I mentioned the starter fertilizer. So as you can see, we got lines coming here from our fertilizer tanks, and they go all the way down to inside of these blades. So what's happening here is these blades are cutting, I would say, like 1 inch deep into the ground, one on each side. We got one over here too, and then the fertilizer comes right out here. This is 3 inches away from the seed, and I think we're getting it about 1 inch in the ground. So we're putting it right next to the row. This helps us cut back substantially what we need to put out, and we also can variable rate that across the field, which we do. Then finally, we have our closing system. You got the trench open, you got your fertilizer out, you got your seed in the ground. Now we need to close it up, wrap it up, make it look nice. That's what these are doing. We like these, just changed these a couple of years ago. They do a good job closing the row in any kind of condition, especially if it's a little wet, which I guess we could consider this a little wet today. And then we have this chain that just kind of smooths any imperfections. So this just drags behind it just in case, just to smooth it out, try to help make it more uniform. So that's about it on the row unit. Talk to you about the fertilizer and the seed. Now see if we can get some video of us running it in the ground. Get Brian on the camera and I'll just start running. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope that was informative. Let us know what you think. And also let us know about Brian's camera skills of me driving the corn planter. So don't worry, you can be a little hard on him.